So the first step is joining the two pieces of the top plate. So for joining two sides we need a big plane, so it's a number 7. The larger the plane, the more straight the cut will be, and to make a perfect joint you want the two sides to be as straight as possible. To join the two plates we put them on each other, so this will how they will join. Put them like that. When you plane both sides together you will get a better result. So the both sides are ready for gluing. For gluing we use a Titebond white glue. When gluing both sides together we need some pressure on the sides, this direction and the other direction also, so the both sides stick together very good. What I use for it, there are other different options as well, but I'm going to try this one now. So in the middle we put some paper, because when gluing the glue comes out of the joint, and when we don't use some paper our top plate will stick to the basement plate. That we don't want that, of course. So first we lay some paper, and then in the middle we put a little piece of wood. It goes underneath the two plates, the two sides of the top plate. Then we lay the two plates together, and at the sides I tried it once to see if it fits, so now I can put them between the two plates in one time, but that's no problem, that's what we want. So we lay the two sides of the top plate next to each other, and on both sides we clamp a totally straight piece of wood. When we put the glue on both sides, we put them inside and we pull the little piece of wood that's keeping the two pieces of the top plate a little in height. We pull it out and we push the plate down into the base plate, and now the two sides will put pressure on the wood. We are also going to clamp another piece of wood on one of the sides to keep sure it stays down. It won't pop up like this because of the pressure. So we're going to do one last check, and then we are taking the glue and the final gluing, joining of the two sides. So we glued the two pieces together. Here's the joint. At the other side you can still see pieces of the paper that stick to the wood. So because of this we don't want to glue it directly on the wood of the bank, because the joint will stick to the bank and you can start all over again. So the next step will be planing the top on the right thickness. We'll start at 3 millimeters. Afterwards we are going to see if it's thick enough, or maybe we should go a little further. With planing it's very important you plane in the right direction. So when you strike the wood, normally you can feel on one side it will go smoothly, the other side so So this side, when I go from left to right, will go smoothly. The other side, you can see you go against the wood. So it's important we plane in this direction, because the top is book matched. You strike the other side of the wood, you notice we have to plane in this direction. So the top plate has the right thickness. What you now need to do is decide which side will be the inside of the guitar and which the outside. Next step is make the contour of the body. So I made my drawing. Let's go back to the original. There are some important things we see on the plan. So these are all braces. This is a little plate. Some builders prefer a second brace over here, the same as this one. So it's up to you to choose. Over here, underneath the bridge, is also a bridge plate. It will serve as a triplex to strengthen the bridge. The nerves on the bridge will go from left to right. The nerves on the top plate will go from top down. The bridge plate will also go left to right. These little markings say the top of the brace, you see, it's 1.6 centimeters. Over here we are going to lower it. When the braces come till the side of the guitar, we will work it in the curving. So you see over here is a curving. It's to strengthen the glue surface from the sides and the top plate. So the braces will stay somewhat further from the sides, won't go inside the curving. On this plate, the X braces on both sides go inside the curving. I won't do that at this point, these 2 points. So only here and there we are going to work it in. I think that are at this moment the most important things. Just one notice. I want not a whole cutaway, but I want something worked out over here. So at this moment it's not drawn on the guitar, but maybe when I start with the bracings I'll decide it. So maybe we are going to change this one, maybe take another brace like this, so it goes next to it. I'll decide it later. So the next step will be the rosette. I'm going to use this one. I made it for a previous guitar, a bass guitar. I made a couple of them, so now I'm going to reuse it. Of course, you see, this should fit inside the top plate. So we are going to take a piece out of it, so the rosette fits exactly in that space. We're going to use a circle cutter. So I hope you can see it. In the middle there's a pin. It fits inside the drilled hole. On the other side is a blade. You can adjust it with a screw to cut the different circles. We are going to use it also afterwards to make the sound hole. There are a few important things. You see the blade on this side, it's straight. On the other side, the inside of the circle, it's pointed. So it's very important to use the straight side at the outside of the circle. So the first time we're going to cut like this. So this will be the outside of the rosette, somewhat like this. Then we are going to adjust our circle cutter and cut the other side of the piece of wood we are going to remove. So at that time we are going to change the blade, so the straight edge is like that. If you work that way, you make sure you have a beautiful cut at the side of what's left of the guitar, of the top plate. When making the sound hole, we are going to use the same technique, and then we are going to cut with the knife, so like this. So the piece of wood that's left on the guitar will have a beautiful cut. The inner side of the sound hole is some scrap wood, so it doesn't need to be that beautiful. So you can see I made 2 cuts. The inner side is a bit less deep than the outside. That's no problem. I think the outside is perfect at this moment, but the inner circle, I think the space between the 2 circles must be a bit wider. So at this moment we are going to take this piece of wood away, and afterwards we are going to check, and maybe we are going to take a little piece of wood from the inside away, so the rosette fits exactly in this space. I made a circle where the rosette will fit. You can see it fits very nice. So what I'm going to do now is make sure the base of the circle is as even as possible, so it makes a good gluing surface for the rosette. Afterwards, and when that's done, we are going to glue the rosette in this circle. To glue it, I use 1 board as a base, so my top plane will fit on the plate. I glue the rosette, and then I use another board as a support on top of it. So our clamps will go on this board, so we can make sure everywhere there's the same amount of pressure on the rosette. It's important to use a board that doesn't stick to the wood glue, otherwise it might be a problem to get the board off the rosette. So the sound hole is ready, the rosette is ready. The next step are the braces. So we are going to make some different pieces of wood, this lengths, these thicknesses. The height of the braces are on the plans. We use wood because it's for the strength of the guitar. We use wood with the nerves in the direction of the braces. It's very important for the strength. It's not that you need some hardwood. We use some tops of violins. So these were tops where the second half wasn't okay. There was a crack in the wood or something, so we use them for the braces. So I have different planks, and I'm going to make the different braces. I decided I won't make a cutaway, a whole cutaway. I'm going to make a scooped cutaway. So on this side there will be a hole in the top and the side, and we are going to finish it off with a piece of wood. So to do that, I need to strengthen the top and the body at this side. So I leave this brace as it is, and over here I'm going to make an extra piece of wood on the top. So the piece of wood that will finish the scooped cutaway will be glued on the extra piece of wood. Maybe when we make this piece of wood, this plank, thick enough, it will be enough for the cutaway, but we'll see. So the braces are roughly the right shape, right thickness. The height isn't exact what it used to be, but we are going to put them a little down when they're glued on the top plate. So because of the top plate has a curve, we need to get the braces the same curve. For the top plate we will take a curve of 2 millimeter. It means that on 50 centimeters is roughly the whole top. The middle sticks 2 millimeters out of the two ends. So we are going to draw the curve on all the braces, and then we are going to shape them in the right form. So over here are 3 plates. The big one, this one, was already on the plan. It needs to support the fretboard together with this brace. These 2 pieces we'll need as a gluing surface for our scooped cutaway. Thanks to Nick Benjamin for the assistance on how he builds his scooped cutaway. We are going to glue the little bars first, and afterwards we are going to glue the X brace. This will allow us to scallop the tone bars without the X brace being in our way to scallop the tone bars. To place the tone bars on the perfect place, we are going to clamp the X brace in place and then glue the tone bars. For gluing the braces, it's very important to keep an eye on the moisture in the air, because the humidity changes constantly and it will deform your top plate. So we're in Belgium. In Belgium we can glue between a humidity of between the 40 and the 50%. So at this moment all braces are glued and all braces are the right height. There's just one thing that needs to be done at this moment. That's a plate over here to support the bridge. Most of the time we use a spare part of a backside of the side of a guitar. Same as with this plate, the grains of the wood should go so this direction. So together with the bridge we receive a kind of triplex plate. So grains go this way on the bridge plate, this way on the top, and again this way on the bridge itself. For gluing this, we also make a little piece of wood with the curve of 2 millimeter, just for clamping the bridge plate. So the top plate is ready. Glued the bridge plate. All braces are as they should be. So now the top plate is finished. We go on to the next, and it will be the back plate. Bye.